I suggest you take your earphones because I will speak in French if you don't practice French language. And we will be about to start in 1 or 2 minutes.
You speak in French?
Yes. You don't have an earphone?
You speak good English.
I don't speak English so well, so when I have very serious things to say, I feel more comfortable in French. I have studied English in a French school. At the time, my teacher herself was never visiting Great Britain. You know, she had an accent terrible, and I am not speaking so well.
So.
Bien, Excellences, Mesdames, Messieurs, David, tu peux essayer de joindre Mosé parce qu'il m'appelle, je crois qu'il est perdu dans la maison. Is it all right?
I'm trying to fix it. I hope.
Mesdames, Messieurs, c'est un honneur pour moi d'avoir été. It works. You have the translation in Turk. Which is the number of Turkish language? 1. C'est le numéro 1 normalement. Mr. President, it's number 1.
Is it working?
Can somebody come and help the president, please? Protocol of Northern Cyprus, please. Somebody of the Protocol of Northern Cyprus, please. Please help the president for the translation. Donc, je parle pour qu'il y ait une traduction, que vous ayez la traduction en turc. You have the translation now, President?
I'm waiting to hear. Hello? Are they translating now?
Translation in Turkish language?
I don't hear anything.
You should hear something.
Not yet.
Now it is working?
Yes.
Technicians, it's all right?
Channel 1 for Turkish.
It
Channel
works? 1. It works? Number 1, yes. It's okay, Mr. President? You hear me?
Yes.
You hear me. Bien, je voulais donc vous dire que je suis honoré d'avoir été choisi pour parler avec son Excellence le Président Tatar, qui est le Président de la République de Chypre Nord. C'est lui qui va parler plus que moi, naturellement. Mais je voudrais dire 2 choses qu'il faut bien répéter et répéter avec force. Chypre était un État indépendant dans les années 70 et la dictature qui régnait à ce moment-là en Grèce, c'était la dictature des colonels grecs, a envisagé et mis sur pied un plan d'invasion de Chypre pour annexer Chypre à la Grèce. Et là, c'était un pas de trop parce que déjà la plupart des îles de la mer Égée appartiennent à la Grèce, la Turquie en est un petit peu privée, Et la Turquie n'a pas accepté qu'il y ait un coup de force dictatorial sur Chypre pour annexer Chypre à la Grèce. Et c'est ainsi que des troupes turques sont arrivées à Chypre pour s'opposer aux troupes grecques qui allaient débarquer et envahir l'île. C'est pour ça que, et je tiens à le répéter, et je le répète souvent, je n'admets pas que dans la littérature internationale, on dise que l'armée turque est une armée d'envahisseurs à Chypre. L'armée turque n'est venue à Chypre que pour répondre aux menaces d'invasion de la Grèce. Ça, c'est un premier point. Et puis le deuxième point, Monsieur le Président, c'est qu'on voit s'agiter régulièrement, par spasme, la communauté internationale et les Nations Unies pour tenter de réunifier, de remettre en ordre ce pays qui est divisé en deux. Et je voudrais, et je pense que c'est d'ailleurs le but de l'académie diplomatique que le Forum de Crans-Montana a créée, je pense qu'il faut aujourd'hui faire de la réelle politique et non plus de la politique à la Metternich au Congrès de Vienne en 1815, qui découpait le monde avec une paire de ciseaux et un crayon. La situation est la suivante. Le pays est divisé de facto et de jure maintenant depuis plus de 50 ans. C'est-à-dire que depuis plus de 50 ans, 85% de la population de Chypre Nord aujourd'hui est née à Chypre Nord dans un État qui s'appelle la République turque du nord de Chypre. Et ces gens, ces jeunes, ces moins jeunes, ont vécu, ont grandi, se sont éduqués dans ce qu'ils considèrent à juste titre être devenu leur pays, dans leur culture, leur civilisation et leur nation. Alors, ce ne sont pas les Nations Unies, ce ne sont pas d'autres acteurs de la vie internationale qui peuvent dire demain « nous ne voulons pas prendre cela en considération ». Car la République turque du nord de Chypre existe et elle existe pour toujours maintenant. Si la communauté internationale voulait faire des efforts et faire quelque chose, il fallait le faire avant, mais pas après 50 ans. Parce qu'on a une situation, on a des êtres humains qu'on doit respecter dans leur culture, dans leur sensibilité, et il n'est plus possible aujourd'hui de changer quelque chose à cette situation, qu'on soit pour, qu'on soit contre. On doit respecter ce peuple. Et la solution que le président tatar a proposée à M. Guterres, j'étais avec la délégation il y a 1 ou 2 mois à Genève, cette solution est la seule qui est viable aujourd'hui et acceptable, c'est-à-dire un accord à 2 États. La République turque du nord de Chypre doit être consolidée dans son existence, elle doit être considérée comme un État à part entière, et elle doit être traitée comme telle. Et puis le dernier point que je mentionnerai et qui est important, parce qu'on a l'impression que la bonne foi est toujours d'un côté et du côté du Nord, il n'y a pas de bonne foi. Ce n'est pas vrai. Il y a eu une solution qui a été proposée par le secrétaire général des Nations Unies, Kofi Annan, il y a, je crois, une quinzaine d'années, Monsieur le Président, et cette solution était quelque chose qui pouvait être envisagé d'une manière sérieuse. Eh bien, la TRNC a voté pour, et la partie grecque de l'île a voté contre. Et ça, c'était le plan des Nations Unies. Alors, on doit arrêter maintenant, parce qu'il n'est plus acceptable que l'on puisse considérer qu'une situation conflictuelle existe entre le Nord et le Sud. Les choses sont telles qu'elles sont, on doit traiter avec ces choses et on doit finalement trouver un terrain d'entente qui préserve la dignité d'abord, et les intérêts de chacun. Voilà, Monsieur le Président, je voulais faire cette introduction parce que souvent, ceux qui se penchent ou qui s'interrogent sur la question de Chypre sont mal informés. Et encore une fois, je ne supporte pas qu'on dise qu'il y a des troupes d'occupation turques dans le nord de Chypre. Il n'y a pas de troupes d'occupation. Ces troupes ne seraient jamais venues si un autre gouvernement n'avait pas décidé d'envahir l'île pour l'annexer. Donc, restons calmes, voyons les choses calmement, essayons de les pas dépolitiser, mais d'enlever la passion dans ces discussions, car vous avez en face de vous, Monsieur le Président, des gens qui sont toujours passionnés et qui ont tendance à sauter sur la chaise. Il serait bon que pour faire la paix, on s'asseye de bonne foi à la même table pour envisager les choses dans le respect de chacun. Monsieur le Président, vous me pardonnez la longueur de mon introduction, mais je serai très heureux de vous entendre.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carteron. I think we are quite lucky that somebody like you is here with us today, because I've heard many times from our Foreign Minister Tahsin Ertuğrul that many years ago in Davos and places like that, you held many conferences, and basically you have been involved in the Cyprus problem for so many years that you are familiar with the problem. That's very important. As you have just said, many people don't know what the Cyprus problem is, because unfortunately, nowadays with some of the Europeans, they tend to be one-sided. They only have the opportunity to listen to the Greek Cypriots. They don't have the opportunity, or they don't create the opportunity to listen to the other side, the Turkish Cypriots. And Turkish Cypriots are co-founders, co-owners of the Republic of Cyprus and the island of Cyprus. As you know, Cyprus is only 40 miles away from Turkey, maybe 50 miles from Antalya. We are so near. When we wake up in the morning in Kyrenia, we can see the mountains of Turkey. Reciprocity, you know. Therefore, when you want to have an idea about the Cyprus problem, you have to look at the geography. The geography is that the island of Cyprus is very, very near Turkey. As I say, only 40 miles, and we have been able to transport water. Water is the most scarce resource in Cyprus, because we have, you know, with global warming, less and less rain every year, and we have managed, through the support of President Erdogan, to transport water to the island of Cyprus, which is of very, very significance, because water means life, water means economy, water means health, water means everything. Therefore, it is very important, and we are very grateful to Turkey for her constant support, but lately economic support, including this water from Turkey. And hopefully more will come, because we deserve to have an independent economy, because we are being imposed embargoes, isolations, and restrictions on the Turkish Cypriots very, very unjustly, because as I say, the Republic of Cyprus continues to be recognized as the sole government of Cyprus, which they are not. And unfortunately, after the Annan plan, they were accepted into Europe very unfairly, despite the fact that Turkish Cypriots said overwhelmingly yes to the plan, comprehensive settlement plan, after so many years. But the Greek Cypriots said overwhelmingly more than 75% no. And despite that, they were taken into Europe. I will go into this a bit later on. I just wanted to make an introduction, like a short introduction. First of all, I would like to thank the Republic of Turkey for organizing a conference, Antalya Diplomatic Forum, of this magnitude. I think it gives an opportunity for people like us to have our voice heard and to basically get familiar with some of the international community who are here, some presidents, some foreign ministers. We have had the opportunity to meet them and in private discussions to express our position. And as President Erdogan has said in his speech, the world is bigger than the five. And some of the African leaders, including Kenya president, I have heard him saying, basically with the vaccine issue at the moment predominating the world public opinion, how things are maybe unfairly organized with regard to humanity. Therefore, we are, Turkish Cypriots, unfairly treated by the international community, because we basically are, as I said, co-owners, co-founders of the Republic of Cyprus, because when you look back into the history of Cyprus, since 1571, the Turks have been on the island. The Ottomans conquered the island of Cyprus in 1571. So our roots go back to 1571. And the Ottomans ruled the island of Cyprus for nearly definitely more than 300 years, probably near 350 years. And we are obviously the grandsons and granddaughters of the Turkish people who moved from here to Cyprus way back. And when the British acquired the island, in fact leased the island, in 1878, because the Ottoman Empire at the time had problems with the Russians, they promised that when they leave the island, they will return it back to the Ottomans. But they didn't. Why? Because then the Turkish Republic found herself in war together with the Germans against the British and the others. And the British, history tells us, said that now that you were in war with the Germans against us, we are not going to abide by the rules of the agreement. We will not transfer the island back to the Ottomans. And before the 1960 agreement, there were long discussions in Zurich, in London, and other places as to how to transfer power, how to transfer sovereignty after British leaves the island. And the basic logic and the argument was that maybe we should divide the island, because you had two peoples on the island, the Turkish people and the Greek people. There was no, and there is no Cypriot nation as such. Whereas nowadays, when you listen to our Greek Cypriot friends and their friends, they always talk about a Cypriot nation. There has never been a Cypriot nation. In Cyprus, you have two peoples, Turkish people, Greek people. Therefore, when they transferred power, transferred sovereignty before they left the island in 1960, at the end of the day, because the island was mixed at the time, sovereignty was transferred to two peoples. This is very important, Mr. Katron. This is the essence of the Cyprus problem. The sovereignty was transferred to the Turkish Cypriots and the Greek Cypriots. Unfortunately, our Greek Cypriot friends, and at the time, President Makarios, as soon as he signed the Cyprus Republic Agreement, he returned back to Cyprus saying, "My people, this is just a stepping stone to enosis. This is just a stepping stone to unite Cyprus with Greece. Now that the British have left the island, our task is easier. Now it is our cause to eliminate all the Turks on the island who are the relatives of the superior Turkish nation of the region." This is a factual statement. It's everywhere. Therefore, our Greek Cypriot friends, unfortunately, never had the intention to make the Republic of Cyprus successful. And it only lasted 3 years, and in 1963, we were unfortunately faced with arms, and they kicked us out of the Republic of Cyprus. And we were kicked into enclaves. Turkish Cypriots were thrown out of their villages, probably more than 103 villages, kicked out of the Republic of Cyprus, and the attempt started to unite Cyprus with Greece. This is their Hellenic aim. This is their Hellenic ambition. This is their dream. After Rhodos, after Crete, and after the Aegean islands, the last castle, as they call it, the island of Cyprus, should also be part of the Greek Empire. This is the essence and the crux of the Cyprus problem. But the Turkish Cypriots, with the support of our motherland, Turkey, we did a lot. We fought and we struggled for our independence, for our cause, which has basically been that we deserved our own state. Because after we were kicked out of the Republic of Cyprus in 1963, it was only our inherent right, obligation to our children that we definitely and quickly establish our own state, which we did. Since 1963, Turkish Cypriots have been governing their own state. The Turkish Cypriot state, then it became Turkish autonomous state, then it became Turkish federal state, and now Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. It is as valid, as inherent, and as legal as the Greek Cypriot states in the south. We have had, over the years, various authorities to give their legal opinion as to, in a Republic of Cyprus, in the island of Cyprus, with the conflict ongoing, what is our legal status? And all these legal opinions, definitely, without any hesitation whatsoever, they do say that it is the legal right of the Turkish Cypriots to have their self-determination, because we are a different people, we have different language, we have different culture, we have different religion. In every aspect of life, we have our own rights to self-govern, to self-determination, as the United Nations have been stating in various expressions of their belief for humanity. So basically, in essence, when we look back in the Cyprus problem, there is a conflict, but at the same time, it's a human issue, human rights problem, because Turkish Cypriots have been pushed into this position where we are having difficulties in expressing our legal position, in expressing our true convictions, and where we stand with the international community. However, United Nations on various platforms are giving us the opportunity to discuss the Cyprus problem for a resolution of the Cyprus problem. However, only on the table. When we meet on the table, I am the leader of the Turkish Cypriots. My counterpart now, Anastasiadis, he is the leader of the Greek Cypriots. But after the discussions fail, once the negotiations are over, he goes out as the Republic of Cyprus president. I go out as the leader of the Turkish Cypriot community, unrecognized. This is asymmetry. Diplomats who are involved in the Cyprus problem for over years, many, many years. One of them is Ergün Olgun. I'm very grateful to his contribution to my team because he has been within these negotiations, at least for the last 50 years, since the times of Denktash. He always makes the point that the real, one of the main problems of the Cyprus issue is that there is asymmetry. There has always been an asymmetry because the Greek Cypriots have been treated as the Republic of Cyprus and the Turkish Cypriots just as a community. And after the Annan plan, unfortunately, as you have just said in your speech, Mr. Katarang, that in 2004, after various United Nations proposals have been refused by the Greek Cypriots, which on the whole, most of them have been, Turkish Cypriots gave consent to most of them. Greek Cypriots gave no consent whatsoever. And in the most renowned one, the Annan Plan in 2004, which was held to taken to a referendum simultaneously on both sides, comprehensive settlement proposals, obviously with the United Nations, a lot of effort, a lot of work done, comprehensive approach. Greek Cypriots said no, more than 75%. Turkish Cypriots, more than 65% said yes.
Yes.
Therefore, that was an opportunity to resolve the Cyprus problem, and then Cyprus to join European Union. But after a settlement, that was what was said, after a settlement. And we were promised that if the Turkish Cypriots said yes, in a way we were motivated to say yes by the Europeans and others. If the Greek Cypriots say no, if you say yes, all these restrictions and isolations on the Turkish Cypriots will be lifted, including direct trade, including direct flights, and all the other embargoes which inhibit the promotion of economic life would have been lifted, so that at least we would have a reward for saying yes to a comprehensive United Nations plan. What happened? Nothing. All these rewards, all these promises that were put to the Turkish Cypriots, if you had said yes, if you were to say yes, they were not fulfilled. They were not promised. They have not been, they are, unfortunately, the words have been in the air. But Greek Cypriots are in Europe, and they are using all the institutions of the European Union with Greece to stop the Turkish Cypriots to have an equal treatment. There are many, many examples. And when we discuss these issues with the European Unions, we say, we do not expect you to be objective, because both Greece and the Greek Cypriots are full members of Europe. We are not, Turkey is not. Therefore, you should revise your policy. you should revise your approach to the Turkish Cypriots. I've said to Mr. Borrell, who is in this Antalya forum, on various opportunities, but obviously he might sympathize with us, but sympathy is not enough because policies are taken at higher up. And at higher up, you have a Greek member, higher up, you have a Greek Cypriot member. There is no Turkish Cypriot people there, then Turkey is not represented there either. And furthermore, when we look at the Cyprus problem, I must say it is not just a problem for the Cypriots, Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. It is very much a regional issue also. I am sure that everybody here who does know a little bit about diplomacy, who does know a little bit about politics, international politics, and what is going on around the world, and especially in the Eastern Mediterranean, with energy reserves, with other strategies with regard to power sharing and the dimensions associated with all this. Obviously, way back in 1960, before the Republic of Cyprus was founded, guarantor Turkey, guarantor Greece, with the United Kingdom, who were the rulers of Cyprus for 80 years. It was the understanding that obviously the Republic of Cyprus, which was basically a functional federalism, would have struck a balance between the Turkish Cypriots and the Greek Cypriots, but also a regional political equilibrium with Turkey and Greece. No matter what, Turkey is only 40 miles away, Greece is, say, 800 miles away, but at least we had a regional stability, regional political equilibrium, because Turkey is a guarantor power, Greece is also a guarantor power. And what is more, which is very important, I want you to make a note of all this, in the Republic of Cyprus Constitution, which was discussed and was an outcome of very serious, long discussions, it was stated that unless Greece and Turkey are members of a political family together, Cyprus cannot join that bloc in the future. What happened in Europe? Turkey is not a member of Europe. Greece is a member of Europe. But they take the decision to take Cyprus into the European Union, disregarding Turkish interests, disregarding Turkish Cypriots' problems associated with that unfair treatment. Further than that, I think the European Union has, on various issues, stated that we will not import a political problem into Europe. Because before a settlement was reached in Cyprus, they accepted the Republic of Cyprus very unfairly into Europe, importing a problem into Europe. They have imported a problem into Europe which even today creates problems for the interests of the European bloc, especially with regard to its relationship with Turkey. Whenever Turkey has a serious negotiation process with the European Union on various issues unrelated to Cyprus, this is very important, unrelated to Cyprus, our Greek Cypriot friend from South Cyprus makes a statement, automatic statement, saying, I will veto it. He will veto it. Why? This is the Turkish relationship with the European Union on various issues. It could be refugees, it could be economic, it could be many other issues. However, Anastasiadis always uses that opportunity to say, I will veto it, unless Turkey makes a move to accommodate Greek Cypriot aspirations with regard to Cyprus problem. We think this is very unfair. Therefore, over all these years, we have experienced many conferences, many discussions, many United Nations processes, and lately, a former Greek Cypriot foreign minister who passed away a few weeks ago, Mr. Rolandis, he used to very often quote saying, Greek Cypriots managed and were successful to refuse 15 comprehensive settlement programs. 15 comprehensive settlement programs, including the Annan plan. What is the time, Mr. Carteron? How long have I got left? How long more have I got left?
I think we have to stop the
We have to stop
in a few minutes because it's scheduled as a short session.
So, I think given the time that I've been allocated, I've been able to describe some of the problems associated with Cyprus. Since I was been elected as the president, my mandate I put to my people, and very fortunately, my mandate has had full support of the Turkish government and President Erdogan, that after all these years, we have been not able to find a solution based on bi-communal, bi-regional federal settlement. Because we believe, especially now that they are a full member of Europe, Greek Cypriots have the upper hand, and they never agreed to share power and sovereignty of the island with the Turkish Cypriots. Therefore, we are now saying, and I have expressed this officially to the United Nations in Geneva last month, that we believe that inherent sovereign equality of the Turkish Cypriots and our conviction that we should internationally be treated equally with the Greek Cypriots, unless the United Nations make a move to concede and to give us our sovereign equality, we will not be able to resume formal negotiations. I'm prepared to talk again on an informal basis, but unless Turkish Cypriots get their full recognition of their inherent sovereign equality and equal international status, there is no point to resume negotiations
Absolutely.
as if we were 50 years ago, because those have been futile. They proved to be able to achieve nothing, as you know. You know the problem very well. And I think you have made that clear in your speech. Therefore, Turkish Cypriots want to be part of the international community. We deserve, because we are a different people. We have our own state since 1963, nearly 60 years old, and it is our only inherent right for self-determination to look to the future with our own state. If this is recognized, then we can cooperate for internal matters, for regional matters, and cooperation between the two states in Cyprus can obviously open the way, pave the way to prosperity, to regional cooperation, for peace, stability, and for the betterment of life for all Cypriots, Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots, and motherlands, Greece, Turkey, and other powers interested in the region. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I would like to add that despite all the problem created around you, when I was working on that with Minister Ertugrul. We invited President Rauf Denktash in an international forum in Switzerland. I have to confirm that Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus enjoy a very strong sympathy among all the international community. And you are not alone. And,
but we are now saying sympathy is not enough.
Yes, but it is already a beginning. So
I feel that a lot of people sympathize with me when I talk to them, but sympathy is not enough.
They say, not enough.
If you want an agreement, then you have to bend, because both sides should consent to have an agreement. What we say is, okay, they are not bending, but they continue to be treated as the Republic of Cyprus for the whole island, as a full European member, which is very unfair to the Turkish Cypriots. So we expect at least the lifting of isolations and embargoes on the Turkish Cypriots to have a level so that we can negotiate more successfully, so that we have a chance to find a solution sustainable and on a fair basis for the Cyprus problem, which has occupied the world public opinion for nearly half a decade now.
Yes, so we have now to leave the place, I think, to our successors who are waiting for a new session. Mr. President, I want to thank you, and we will continue the discussions after this.
Yes, once more I would like to thank the Republic of Turkey for organizing this conference, and I very much hope that Antalya Diplomatic Forum is successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.